When you will finally stop waiting for the perfect moment, you will realize that this moment has always been enough. When you will stop asking for permission to become better, stronger, more disciplined, you will feel a power rise inside you that no one can take away. When you will look honestly at your life and admit that something must change, not tomorrow, not someday, but now, that is the exact moment your transformation begins. Too many people live on pause, replaying the past, fearing the future, and avoiding responsibility, hoping motivation will magically appear and pull them forward. But motivation does not build lives, decisions do. When you will decide to take ownership of your thoughts, your actions, and your time, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your future. I know you are tired, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, tired of trying, tired of hoping, tired of starting over. But listen closely. Being tired does not mean you are done. It means you have been carrying more than most people ever see. When you will understand that your pain is not pointless and your struggle is not wasted, you will stop running from it and start using it. Every setback you faced, every failure that hurt, every moment you felt lost was shaping you for something greater. But only if you choose to rise again. When you will stop doubting your worth and start respecting your potential, discipline will replace excuses and action will replace fear. This is not about becoming perfect, it is about becoming committed. When you will decide that your life is too precious to waste and your future too important to delay, everything begins to shift. This moment is not here to comfort you, it is here to wake you up. Because when you will choose to stand up again, nothing can keep you down for long. Everything changes the moment you stop waiting and decide to take full responsibility for your life, because waiting is the most dangerous habit a person can develop. Waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to understand you, help you, or save you. And while you wait, time keeps moving, opportunities quietly pass, and your potential stays locked behind hesitation. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that went wrong in your past. It means owning what happens next. It means recognizing that even if life was unfair, even if people failed you, even if circumstances knocked you down, the direction of your future is still in your hands. The moment you accept that no one is coming to rescue you, you reclaim your power. Because power does not come from being lucky or supported. It comes from deciding that regardless of how you feel, you will show up and do the work. Responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom, because when you stop pointing outward and start looking inward, you realize that you control your effort, your habits, your attitude, and your response to pain. Many people stay stuck not because they are incapable, but because they keep outsourcing their future to hope instead of discipline. They say tomorrow will be different. Next week they will start. One day they will change. But one day never arrives for those who refuse to act today. Responsibility forces you to be honest with yourself, honest about where you are, honest about what you've avoided, and honest about what needs to change. And that honesty is uncomfortable, but it is necessary for growth. When you take responsibility, excuses lose their power because you no longer need them to protect your ego. You understand that every excuse is a delay, and every delay costs you time you can never get back. Responsibility also builds confidence. Not the loud kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind that comes from keeping promises to yourself, from doing what you said you would do even when no one is watching. Each small action taken in responsibility strengthens your identity, turning you from someone who hopes into someone who acts. It teaches you resilience, because when setbacks happen, you don't collapse or blame the world. You adjust, learn, and move forward stronger. Most importantly, taking full responsibility reconnects you to purpose, because you stop living reactively and start living intentionally, choosing growth over comfort and progress over excuses. The life you want does not begin when conditions are perfect. It begins the moment you decide to carry the weight of your own potential and move forward anyway, knowing that responsibility is not about being flawless, it is about being committed. Committed to getting up again, committed to learning, and committed to becoming better than you were yesterday. Discipline is the difference between a life that stays imagined and a life that is actually built. Because motivation is emotional and temporary, it rises when things feel good and disappears the moment discomfort shows up, but discipline remains when excitement fades and results are still far away. Most people wait to feel ready, inspired, or confident before they act, but discipline teaches you to act first and let confidence follow. It is not about being harsh or cold with yourself. It is about respect, about deciding that your future matters more than your current mood. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when your mind wants to negotiate, what keeps you working when nobody is watching, and what forces consistency on the days when quitting feels reasonable. Motivation may start the journey, but it will never finish it, because every meaningful goal includes boredom, struggle, self-doubt, and slow progress. And without discipline, those moments become excuses to stop. Discipline trains you to rely on commitment instead of feelings, and that shift changes everything. When you practice discipline daily, even in small ways, you build trust with yourself, and that trust becomes strength. You stop seeing effort as punishment and start seeing it as preparation for the life you claim you want. There are no shortcuts in this process. No hacks that replace repetition and effort, because shortcuts create weak foundations that collapse under pressure. Discipline builds structure, and structure creates freedom, freedom from chaos, freedom from regret, and freedom from constantly starting over. It teaches you patience, because progress earned through discipline is slow but lasting, and lasting change is always worth the wait. Over time, discipline reshapes your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who tries, but as someone who follows through, someone who finishes, someone who shows up regardless of circumstances. That identity becomes armor against doubt and fear, because you trust your work ethic more than your emotions. Discipline also strengthens your resilience, because when challenges arise, you don't panic or retreat. You respond with calm focus, knowing that consistency has already prepared you for difficulty. In a world addicted to comfort and instant gratification, choosing discipline is a quiet rebellion, a decision to delay pleasure for long-term fulfillment, to endure discomfort for meaningful progress. Every disciplined action compounds, turning ordinary days into extraordinary outcomes over time. The life that looks impressive from the outside is almost always built through invisible discipline behind the scenes. When you commit to discipline, you stop relying on luck and start relying on yourself. And there is no stronger foundation than that, because motivation will always come and go, but discipline, once built, carries you forward even when everything else falls silent. Failure is not a sign that you are incapable or unworthy. It is evidence that you are daring enough to try, and the people who never fail are usually the ones who never step far enough outside their comfort zone to discover what they are truly capable of. From the moment we are young, we are conditioned to fear failure, to see it as embarrassment, loss, or proof that something is wrong with us. But in reality, failure is one of life's most honest teachers, because it exposes weaknesses, sharpens awareness, and forces growth in ways comfort never can. Every setback carries information, and when you choose to study it instead of running from it, you gain clarity that success alone could never give you. Failure shows you what does not work, what needs refinement, and where your discipline must deepen. Without failure, progress becomes shallow and fragile, easily shattered the moment pressure appears. Those who build resilience understand that falling is part of forward movement, and that every stumble strengthens the muscles needed to rise again. When you fail and continue anyway, you train your mind to separate effort from outcome. You learn that your worth is not attached to a single result, and that understanding creates emotional strength. Instead of being crushed by loss, you become curious, asking what can be learned and how to adapt. This mindset turns pain into preparation and disappointment into direction. Failure also builds humility, reminding you that mastery is earned, not given, and that growth requires patience and persistence. Many people quit at the first sign of resistance, not because they lack ability, but because they misinterpret struggle as a stop sign rather than a test. In reality, struggle is often confirmation that you are moving in the right direction, pushing beyond old limits. Each time you choose to get up again, you prove to yourself that setbacks do not control you, and that proof builds confidence far stronger than easy wins ever could. Over time, failure stops feeling like an enemy and starts feeling like a companion on the journey, something expected, something manageable, something that no longer scares you into inaction. The courage to fail repeatedly is what separates those who dream from those who build, because success demands endurance, not perfection. When you accept that failure is part of the process, you stop wasting energy on shame and start investing it in improvement. You move forward faster because you are no longer afraid to fall. In the end, the goal is not to avoid failure, but to fail forward, to use every fall as momentum, every mistake as fuel, and every setback as another reason to rise stronger than before. Your mindset is the lens through which you experience life, and whether you realize it or not, that lens is shaping every decision you make, every opportunity you notice, and every challenge you either confront or avoid. When your mindset is weak, the world feels heavy, problems feel permanent, and effort feels pointless. But when your mindset is trained, even difficult situations carry possibility and direction. Believing in yourself is not about blind confidence or pretending you have no fear. It is about choosing faith over doubt when both exist at the same time. The thoughts you repeat internally become the foundation of your actions, and over time, those actions turn into habits that define your reality. When you train your mind to believe that you are capable, adaptable, and resilient, you stop seeing obstacles as proof that you should quit and start seeing them as challenge. Jess meant to refine you. A strong mindset teaches you to speak to yourself with honesty and encouragement rather than constant criticism, because the voice in your head becomes your most influential coach. When you tell yourself that you can do anything, you are not denying difficulty, you are affirming your willingness to learn, work, and endure whatever is required. This belief shifts your behavior. You take risks you once avoided, you persist longer when progress is slow, and you recover faster after setbacks. A trained mindset also protects your future because it keeps you focused on long-term growth instead of short-term comfort. It allows you to detach your self-worth from immediate results and stay committed even when outcomes are uncertain. Over time, this mental strength creates consistency, and consistency is what turns belief into evidence. Every small promise you keep to yourself reinforces your confidence, not through words, but through experience. When your mindset is aligned with growth, negativity loses its grip, criticism loses its power, and doubt becomes something you observe rather than obey. You learn to question limiting thoughts instead of accepting them as truth, and that questioning opens doors that once felt locked. Life does not become easier when your mindset improves, but you become stronger, clearer, and more focused, capable of navigating complexity without losing direction. A strong mindset also anchors hope, allowing you to trust that your future can be brighter even when your present is demanding. This trust is not passive optimism, it is active belief backed by disciplined action. Ultimately, mindset shapes reality because it determines how you respond to everything that happens to you, and when you choose to train it daily, you reclaim control over your growth, your resilience, and the life you are building. Excuses are the silent killers of potential because they sound reasonable, comforting, and logical, yet they quietly keep you stuck exactly where you are. They protect you from discomfort in the moment, but they steal your future one day at a time. Every excuse is a story the mind creates to avoid effort, responsibility, or fear of failure, and the longer you accept those stories, the more convincing they become. Eliminating excuses does not mean life suddenly becomes easy or obstacles disappear. It means you stop allowing obstacles to decide your limits. When you remove excuses, you reclaim control because you no longer wait for perfect conditions, more time, better mood, or external validation. You act with what you have, where you are, and that decision alone separates growth from stagnation. Hard work is the price of becoming someone you respect. And there is no shortcut around it because shortcuts create fragile results that collapse under pressure. True progress demands effort repeated consistently, especially on days when results are invisible and motivation is low. When you commit to hard work without excuses, you begin to see effort not as punishment, but as proof of self-belief, proof that your goals matter enough to sacrifice comfort. This commitment reshapes your character because each time you choose action over excuse, you strengthen discipline, resilience, and self-trust. Excuses often hide fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of discovering your true limits. But when you face that fear through effort, it loses its power over you. You learn that discomfort is temporary, but growth is lasting. Hard work also sharpens focus because it forces you to prioritize what truly matters instead of spreading energy across distractions. Over time, eliminating excuses builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence, not the kind that needs approval, but the kind that comes from knowing you did the work regardless of circumstances. This confidence is quiet but unbreakable because it is earned, not imagined. When challenges arise, you no longer look for reasons to stop, you look for ways to adapt and continue. That shift changes how you experience life, because problems become puzzles instead of barriers. A life built on effort and accountability becomes stable, grounded, and resilient. In a world that constantly offers comfort and avoidance, choosing hard work with no excuses is an act of self-respect and courage. It means you stop negotiating with your potential and start honoring it through action. Ultimately, eliminating excuses frees you because you realize that progress has always been available to you, waiting for the moment you decided to work for it. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever possess, because once a moment passes, it can never be recovered, no matter how much regret, effort, or money you offer in exchange. Life moves forward relentlessly, and every day presents a quiet choice between intention and waste, growth and stagnation. When you truly understand how precious time is, your priorities shift. You stop chasing distractions, you stop investing energy in negativity, and you stop postponing the life you know you are capable of building. Wasting time does not always look like doing nothing. Sometimes it looks like staying busy with things that do not matter, staying in situations that no longer challenge you, or replaying the past instead of shaping the future. Time demands respect, and respecting time means using it with awareness and purpose, even on ordinary days. Daily improvement is the most honest way to honor time because it acknowledges that progress does not happen in dramatic leaps, but in small, consistent actions repeated over weeks, months, and years. When you commit to being better each day, even by a fraction, you align your actions with long-term growth rather than short-term comfort. Gratitude also deepens your relationship with time because it anchors you in the present moment instead of constantly chasing what comes next or mourning what is past. Being grateful does not mean ignoring ambition. It means appreciating where you are while still moving forward with intention. Understanding the value of time also requires letting go of unnecessary negativity because resentment, comparison, and regret consume mental energy without creating progress. When you free yourself from those patterns, you regain focus and clarity. A person who values time becomes selective, careful with commitments, protective of attention, and disciplined with habits. This discipline compounds, turning ordinary routines into powerful tools for transformation. As time passes, consistency becomes your greatest ally because showing up daily builds identity, not just results. You begin to see yourself as someone who honors commitments, who grows intentionally, and who does not take life for granted. Time also reminds you of impermanence, that opportunities, relationships, and even struggles are temporary, and that awareness can inspire urgency without panic. Living with respect for time does not mean rushing through life. It means engaging fully with it, choosing actions that align with your values and goals. When you treat each day as meaningful, you naturally reduce procrastination and increase purpose. Ultimately, understanding the value of time transforms how you live, because you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating meaning now, recognizing that the present is the only place where growth, gratitude, and progress truly exist.